have this book from Ray Wyckoff, um, called Kingdom Writers Devotional, Pulling on Heaven and Writing on Earth. And I found a devotion in here this morning that I would like to share. This is called Addison's Walk Up, Oxford, UK, September 2017. As writers, we are pioneers in all respects. Why? Because we are going into places we have never been before and sharing what we experienced while there. We go to foreign worlds, visit new creations, new people, and even discover new things about ourselves. One of my dreams was to go to Oxford, UK. I wanted to walk the streets of the legendary pioneers J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. We launched Kingdom Writers Association in 2016, and by the end of that year, I was working on how to get to Oxford. In my mind and heart, I was set to go, not knowing any of the logistics of what it would take. The Holy Spirit started lining everything up, and as I moved forward, my focus shifted from just me and my wife going to wondering who else would want to go with me on this crazy adventure. That is when the Writers' Retreat came to the forefront. It quickly changed to Writers' Advance, as I strongly felt and still feel that our words matter. And the word retreat just didn't sound right. Sorry, my thing was not moving. We don't retreat, we advance. We teamed up with another writing group led by Dr. Mark Stibbe, who runs Kingdom Writing Solutions in the UK. Together, we formed an advance that I feel will be difficult to duplicate. It truly set the bar really high, namely because it was the first time any of us had done such a thing. A lot of work went into the coordination from all sides. Without Mark and his amazing wife, Cherith, it would have been difficult to pull off on my own. One of the things at the top of our list was walking Addison's Walk, located on the campus of Magdalen College. It is a picturesque footpath around a small island along the River Cherwell. This is a special place as it expressed that C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, and Hugo Dyson were walking the path together, talking about God, metaphors, and myth, and they had a wonderful experience. Here are the words from C.S. Lewis to find a friend. Here are the words from C.S. Lewis to a friend just 2 days after the occurrence. We began in Addison's Walk just after dinner on metaphor and myth, interrupted by a rush of wind which came so suddenly on the still warm evening and sent so many leaves pattering down that we thought it was raining. We all held our breath, the other two appreciating the ecstasy of such a thing almost as you would. We continued in my room on Christianity, a good, long, satisfying talk in which I learned a lot. Then discussed the difference between love and friendship. Then finally drifted back to poetry and books. That was a letter to Arthur Greeves, September 22nd, 1931. Interesting that it was September 2017, around the same season as when Lewis went to Addison's Walk in his group in 1931, 86 years prior. We had already spent days in Oxford with a special day of touring planned. That day, our group coordinated to see several key locations. This was our final stop for the day, and we truly saved the best for last. I remember seeing everything leading up to this point in my mind: the famous Blackwell Bookshop, Pembroke College, where J.R.R. Tolkien taught for 20 years, Bodleian Library, the home of C.S. Lewis, the grave of both men. But at the top of my mind and heart was getting to this significant place with our group. I can't tell you why, but there was a strong pulling to be there. I needed to be there. One of the things I told the Kingdom Writers Advance members before we left the U.S. was that I was going to Oxford, and I wouldn't return without a limp. I was going to get something from God out there, and I would wrestle him for it, much as Jacob did. Dr. Mark Stibbe and I found a good spot on the path. There were landscaping dreamscapes with trees, the river, and beauty all around us. Mark said to me, "Bray, why don't you say a few words and pray?" I hadn't much thought of saying anything other than this is a very special place, and I couldn't truly wrap my mind around the fact that I was actually there. I said a few words explaining the significance of that place, and then I read the part of C.S. Lewis's letter where he described the rush of wind that came suddenly. I started to pray and became overwhelmed with the Holy Spirit. I felt strongly it was time to listen, so I instructed everyone to just focus on God and listen to what he had to say to each of us individually. We were in a holy silence. And then the wind rushed in suddenly, blowing through the trees. It sounded like rushing water, and then we heard large drops. as if someone threw stones into the river behind us. It subsided after a minute, and we all looked up at one another in awe. Each of us started sharing what we heard and saw with Papa God during that time. What was the sound we heard? I asked. John Spencer from the UK team said it was seeds falling from the trees into the river. He went on to tell us the significance of those seeds as they fell. They drop into the water and are carried downstream, where they will be planted further away, and a new tree will be birthed. It was an example of what and who we are as writers. God's message to us was clear. We are his scribes, and our writing becomes the seeds that are taken around the world and cause new life to be birthed. Each of us found a seed and took it home as a reminder of what happened that day. My seed is in my office inside a special display case that harbors items I've collected from several locations in Oxford from this amazing, life-changing trip. It is my reminder of the message God imparted to us on Addison's walk. Your writing is a tree. That tree is creating and releasing seeds that are falling and traveling to new places, being planted to create more trees. It is a beautiful picture. Grab hold of it.
Who was the author?
Ray Wickoff. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
And while Kim gets started introducing herself.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was an excellent introduction. So I think I'm going to talk about a way to get those seeds moving down that stream a little faster. Um, so my name is Kimberly Keagan. Please call me Kim, otherwise I'll look around for my mom. My mom is from London, so hearing Lynn read that devotion was pretty awesome. I've been to Oxford. Anyway,
And I
I
probably said all those names wrong, Kim. I'm sorry.
no, you did fine. So anyway, I write historical romance set in the Gilded Age and late Victorian ages. My first book was published in 2025, and I wouldn't call myself a rapid releaser, but I'm releasing pretty quickly because I'm 60 and I figure I better get it done while I can. So anyway, and that's pretty much it. My background is in accounting, and I was an investor relations analyst. So that word analyst is key because I analyze everything to death. So one of the things I've been looking at, and one of the things I absolutely despise, I'm going to admit it here, is social media. I was never on it prior to being published, and I don't like it. Luckily, the spaces that we're in as Christian writers are a little bit more friendly, but even then, I just don't like having to live my life around social media posts, which is how I ended up coming to Pinterest. I saw a couple of really good presentations in the last year. One of them with Christy Woods, which I'm sure plenty of you people know because I recognize faces from FHL on here. So I'm sure if you're on FHL and you haven't seen her presentation, it's in our file folder, and it was pretty good. Was more about how to create pins. Mine's going to be kind of like the why you need to do it. All right, so I am going to share my screen. Okay, but sharing's not on. I don't know who's in charge of that, but if I could share my screen, it'd be great.
Yeah, that's me. Give me just a sec.
Sure.
I should have asked you before now. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to share. I need everybody else to share. I had to go and do something, kind of stand on my head and do a couple things. So y'all talk a minute and I'll figure out how to do this.
I can't talk without my slides.
I know,
She'll get there.
right?
She'll get there.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you this. I'll give you some apologies. Number one, we have a little workout room in our garage. I'm out here because we have a corgi who, as soon as I get on the phone, and she would consider this on the phone, she decides she's going to yap, because that's when I'm going to start throwing her treats to get her to be quiet. So I had to come out here to get away from her. It's Arizona. It's 106 today. It's luckily the air does come in here, but not well. So if my makeup starts running or anything, that's why. The second apology is I just got back from vacation yesterday. So I'm a little out of it. We went to Laguna Beach to get out of the heat. So,
So see if you can share now. You should be able
okay.
to.
It says, okay, you know what? It says send a request. So let me try that and see if if you can
Oh,
accept my request,
I
maybe.
didn't have to do that last time. Yeah.
No, we got it to work really quick last time.
Yeah. Okay. It should let you now.
Okay. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, but where are all my screens here?
Yay. Yay.
Cool. All right, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just turn this on.
What does it say? I don't see any.
I'm I'm gonna turn it on slideshow here and hopefully that will help. Can you see it now?
I
Yeah,
don't see anything.
weird. But everybody else sees
I
it?
do. How about the rest of you?
What are y'all
Yes.
seeing?
It's my first slide. It has
Oh,
roses on it.
okay.
I
I see it
wonder,
now. Got it.
okay. So, and I'm gonna see if I can maybe move you guys over a little bit here, so I can't really see. Okay. So, since there's not a ton of us on here today, um, if you want to stop me at any time and ask a question in the middle of it while you're thinking about it, please do so because it's fine with me. In fact, it might even be easier for the rest of you. So this is Pinterest for authors using pins to sell more books and grow your email list. All right. So how many of you are on Pinterest as an author, not personally? Okay, so two of you? Yeah. Um, so Pinterest is not
Kim,
social media. Yeah.
I've got an account and I have sections in there that are for my books, but is there like a separate one I should be on for an author?
Okay, we'll go through it and let's see
Okay.
if you fit the criteria of what I'm going to tell you need to be doing. So it's not Pinterest is not social media. It's think of it like a search engine. It's like a Google, but it's really pretty. And it can help you grow your author brand if you use it properly, and hopefully will allow you more to spend more time writing. Um, it's ideal if you want to market efficiently. So, all the times one of the reasons I don't like social media is because the algorithm is fed by how much you engage. And well, we'll go on and I'll tell you a little bit more here. So the ways that you can use Pinterest as an author is you can increase your book sales and you can drive traffic to your book pages. Amazon, I'm not wide, so I don't know if it's effective with Barnes and Noble, but you can do that. You can drive your traffic to your author website or blog. This is huge for me. You can promote your reader magnet, grow your email list, strengthen your author brand, engage your readers while through visual content, create long-term visibility, and batch your pins ahead of time. And we will go over all of this. So I'm just kind of running through it really quickly. I didn't know if we would have any men on here. And I was going to have to apologize if we did. Pinterest has a specific audience, and it's primarily female. It does tend to skew a little younger, but I think that all of us, I know a lot of authors on here, our books would probably still do very well on Pinterest. Just really quickly, so that when we're going through this, you know what I'm talking about. Here's some Pinterest terminology. Some of it is going to feel a little foreign, but so when it says profile, that means your entire account. So everything you have on there under your name is your profile. Pins are the individual graphics that we'll see when we pull up Pinterest. The boards are the way that you put your pins into categories, and these are really important. Keywords, we all know what keywords are. They're important for Pinterest as well. Just SEO, a way to get people to find your boards, to find your pins. Impressions are the number of times your pin appears in search results. This is like views on, Instagram. So you don't have a lot of control over impressions because that's up to Pinterest's algorithm, but SEO is important. The more you have your keywords out there and the more your keywords are searched, the more your pin will show. Saves are how many people saved your pin to their own boards. And clicks, this is the most important number. It's how many people visit your website, your Amazon page, or your landing page. Now, unlike Instagram or Facebook, you're not going to have people liking you. Will they? Yes. Doesn't matter if they do or don't. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. A lot of people have a ton of followers, but because you're not engaging with them, it doesn't matter. So don't get hung up on that at all. So I did this presentation for the first time a couple of months ago. And I thought before I go out, I'm going to do a couple of things within my Pinterest account. And I really wanted to drive them to my blog post, which I had not been doing because my blog posts are they're historical, they're really geared towards, stuff in my books. And so I added a few days before the presentation, I added some specific blog post pins to Pinterest, and this is what happened to my account. My page views went up. This is my website. My page views went up 68%, unique visits up 8%, and the pages views per visit went up 41%. So that was really all due to me doing these pins for my blogs. All right, so this is where we get to Lynn's question. Setting up a winning author profile on Pinterest. The first thing you need to do is do not think of this as your personal Pinterest page or profile. If you have one, don't use it. Create an author business account and then use it like a business. It is your author business. It's not, if you're interested in, for me, corgis. If corgis are not relevant to your books, do not pin a whole bunch of corgi pictures on your Pinterest site. Claim your website. So this is going to be, you can look at, I'll give you some resources at the end, and I'm going to send all these slides out with the resource links. But there are different videos out there on how to claim your website. Do all of you have websites that you control, or do you have webmasters? Okay, so if you can control it yourself or ask your webmaster, you're just going to put a code in your website header. Nobody can see it but you, and it lets the two connect, Pinterest and your website, and that's how you're going to also get analytics. So you want to claim your website, and then you want to optimize your profile using keywords. And again, we'll get into that here in a second.
Okay, Kim.
Okay, yeah.
When I pulled mine up, it says that it's a business account and it says it's professional is where I've got it. Should it say publisher or media instead?
No, I think you've got it fine. I think that should be fine. I'll show you mine in a second because I'm not entirely sure, but we'll take a look. In fact, we
When
can
you
look at
watch an
yours.
author, but now I do have personal stuff on there. Is it possible to move that to a separate Pinterest thing? And
I don't know if you can move it directly. You might have to just delete it. Or archive it, or hide it. You can also hide pins so that the only person who sees them is you. That might be a better way to do it.
it might be
But
better.
I would not recommend doing a lot of personal pins on there unless it relates to your books.
Okay. Okay.
So after I claimed my website on Pinterest, I did the analytics. I have Weebly, and before I wasn't getting anything from Pinterest, and then a few days later, you can see I had 10 views on Pinterest from Pinterest coming into my website. Okay. A banner. Banner is the cover of your author storefront. And again, I'm going to show you pictures here in a minute, and we will actually do some work online. We can look at a couple of your accounts if you want to. So the banner is, a lot of authors don't even utilize this, but it's basically the cover of your storefront. And it's going to reflect your author brand and genre, and you want to use high quality images, larger fonts, and simple and readable text. And you're going to want to update it regularly. I don't know about that, but that's something that I heard in another presentation. And I don't know if that's true. Some authors do update with their newest books, but I think as long as it reflects you and your brand and genre, you're fine to leave it. And then recommended banner size is 1600 by 900 pixels. This is different to anything else probably you create, and it's going to be different to any other pins you create. This is the only thing in this size on Pinterest is your banner. Okay, so here's some examples of authors who I think do a really good job with their banner. So when you go onto their Pinterest site, this is what you're going to see, like for Melissa McClone. She writes sweet romance books. The thing on the right that's pretty with the rose, that's her banner. On the left is her author profile. Now you can see she has 3.5 thousand followers, 135, she's following 134 accounts, and she has 6,600 monthly views. As I said, she has a good number of followers. That's awesome. I have like 68. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The views, that matters, because that means her pins are getting out there 6,000 times a month. So somebody's going to click on them. And you can see where it says Melissa McClone. Right here, she's claimed her author website. You can hook your account, your profile, to Instagram, so that anytime you post on Instagram, it automatically posts on Pinterest. I did that for a while, but there's a lot that I post on Instagram that I don't really want, I don't think is useful on Pinterest, so I took it off. It was more irritating to me. Plus, it's a different size, so you're going to end up posting something that's not really the best size for Pinterest. What I don't like about Melissa's banner is it's a little difficult to read. Like, I can't really see what it says under her name, USA Today bestselling author, as I think what it says. Below that is Denise M. Colby. If you're an FHL, you probably know Denise. She writes historical romance. This is a great banner. But this is when she's going to have to update when her next book comes out, which is, I think, in the next month or so. But this is a great banner. Very much her brand. You'll see this on her Instagram account. You'll see this on her Facebook account, that background with the faded wood, her house and her name in that writing. She's got her profile picture there as well. This is a terrific banner. You know exactly what she does, what she writes. So I would highly recommend a banner like that. But again, you're just going to have to update it. Easy enough to do. Do all of you use Canva? Okay, Canva is your best friend for social media, for Pinterest. So if you can get a Canva free account that works very well. You can probably do everything you need to do in that. I have a premium account, which also allows me to use it as a calendar, so I can create everything in Canva, and rather than downloading it, I can just schedule it out for Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook automatically for the month, which is really nice for me. I like getting things done and out. I have a couple of planning days a month, and then I don't want to have to deal with it anymore. Okay. So setting up the fun stuff. If you're just starting out with your author account, this is what I would recommend. And even if you're not, if you're going to do a little cleanup, which you might want to do after this, create 10 boards to start, just so that it looks like you're active. And then create 5 to 10 pins for each board. And then this is the only downside with Pinterest, is you really do need to update it with fresh pins 3 to 5 times a week for it to love you. which means for it to show your stuff in its algorithm, for its algorithm to show you. And fresh pins means your pins, something you've created, not something you've repinned. Repins are fine, but doesn't help you. It just fills up your board, fills up your profile. And I do repin. I repin a lot, but fresh pins are what you need to be doing. Okay, let's talk about boards and board cover basics, and I will again show you examples. So a board is a folder of similar subject files or pins, and board covers are labels on the folders. And again, we'll see this in a second. The board covers should be polished, eye-catching, and establish a brand identity. Board cover size, again, this is the only other size that's very different in Pinterest, and it's a 1,000 by 1,000. So it's a square. The biggest thing about Pinterest is it's all about the aesthetics. Unlike any social media, which TikTok is about your video, that type of thing. Instagram's about your photos. This is all about how you set up your pin aesthetically, because that's what's going to draw people in. When they go out on Pinterest, they're looking for ideas, and a little bit more like maybe recipes. They are looking for books out on Pinterest now, but it is all about how eye-catching your pins are and your boards. And Pinterest will move you up in their rankings if you're eye-catching. So here it is. Here's that point again. The pin basics. This is what you'll be doing the most of. Your aesthetics matter, and you want to design your pins for visibility and reach on the platform. So again, the algorithm likes strong visual design. A strong design means you're going to have more saves and clicks, which means increased distribution in feeds and search results. Fresh pins with high-performing visuals dominate reach metrics. So this is what you're going to be doing typically when you're creating a pin is 1,000 by 1,500 pixel, which is a 2:3 ratio. If you're in Canva, you just say you want to create a Pinterest post or board. Pinterest, I think they say pin or post. I can't remember what they say in Canva, but they'll have that size. Should be 1,000 by 1,500, which again is nothing like, it's not Instagram's. I think Instagram's is 3 by 4. Facebook is changing all the time. So I don't even know anymore what it is. Okay, so here's Camille Elliott, or Cami Tang. You guys might know her. She's historical romance author, but she also writes contemporary suspense. She has a great site, and we'll go on it in a second. So here's what the top two are boards. So if you go into her profile account, you're going to see her boards, and every board of hers has a board cover, which is this right here, that 1,000. I'm not sure. I don't think she did this in 1,000 by 1,000, even though that's recommended. This still looks nice, but this is going to be on every board of hers. So this is brand. This is her author brand. This is so you recognize Cami Tang's stuff for her Regency novels. Down below, these are examples of her pins. She does a really nice job if you want to take a look at her account, but we can also look at it together. And then some tips. Pin with purpose. Just don't throw anything up there. Have a reason to pin it. Put your website URL and logo on every pin you create. And then update your website with every new book. So these connect, right? Don't send people to your website if your website is dated. You gotta keep on top of that website. Put every new book on there. Update it with just fresh content as often as you can, and then make sure it gets out to Pinterest. And then make sure that every page your pin, that every pin leads to your reader magnet. We'll talk about this in a minute. I did this a couple of months ago. I have thoughts on reader magnets that I think, that we'll talk about in a second. And I'm starting to shift away from thinking reader magnets are the be all and end all. But anyway, okay, so here are the types of pins you can create. A standard image, which is the ones you're mainly going to see, those are static, and those are evergreen content. So when you create a pin, remember it's going to be out there for a long time. It's not like Facebook and Instagram where they're instant, they might be out there 6 hours if you're lucky, and then nobody will ever see them again. It is not like that in Pinterest. Your stuff can come up 3 years later if somebody's searching for something similar. Carousel pins, just like on Instagram, they're a group of pins that people would have to kind of slide through. Idea pins are for building engagement. This is mainly for people who sell product, but if you sell product on your website, idea pins might be a good thing for you. Video pins, those get high visibility. Book trailers are a good thing to do in a video pin. Those are not as important as far as size goes. Like you can create the best one to do is on Canvas, a YouTube video, because those will post on everything. I love doing videos because I can do one video and put it on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and I don't need to change the size at all. So videos are really nice, as long as you have a good video, obviously. I usually do, right now, most of my videos are my Sunday scripture, but when I have a book release and so forth, I might create a video. Product pins, again, these are for people who are selling product, but if you have direct book sales, those are pretty useful. Infographic pins, if you teach, if you sell, webinars or whatever, these, and I'll show you some examples. Infographic pins are a good way to go. Usually they're the ones that it's more text. You still want to be a bit visually appealing, but it's going to have a list of things that you're trying to teach. And then seasonal pins for trending content and book events. Those can still be evergreen. If you have a Christmas novella that you want to put a pin up there next Christmas, it's still relevant, right? But seasonal pins are good because that's a good way to do a fresh pin. If you're thinking, okay, what do I do now to have a fresh pin? We're coming up to Thanksgiving, so let's do a Thanksgiving looking pin. All right, so here are what they look like. So here's a standard pin. The one on the left is mine. That's for my reader magnet, my Christmas reader magnet. I have 3 reader magnets. That's my Christmas one. The next one is a carousel, and you can see, although I can't do it because this is just obviously on my slide, but you can see all the dots below, which means you can slide through her carousel of pins. This one is an idea pin, and I said this was more for product sales, but actually this can also be, as you can see, for people who blog about recipes and they have steps, an idea pin would be good for that. And then the last one is a video. And you can see the different sizes. You can see like the video size is a little different to the standard. But again, when you create it in YouTube or really any reel, they're all pretty much the same size. Okay, so creating irresistible pins. You want to have eye-catching text overlays. You want to do the ideal pin dimensions, which I gave you earlier. And again, I'll give you all of this stuff at the end. High quality pins. Again, the aesthetics matter. So make sure you're not putting something fuzzy out. Whereas Instagram, you might be able to get away with it. You want to make sure your pins are high quality. Compelling copy. So this is what you're going to be putting in like your descriptions when you're setting up a Pinterest pin. When I first was setting up on Pinterest, I would just throw something up and not really worry about it, give it a title and not worry about description at all. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. So strong keywords in the title, the description, the image, the file name. Again, we'll go over this. and then clear call to actions. Like, what do you want people to do once they reach your pin? You want them to go to your website? You want them to go to Amazon? Make sure you make that clear. Okay, so keywords, just like keywords for a book on Amazon, you want to put them strategically. You want to make sure that they're keywords that Pinterest likes. Uh, I will. So, how many of you will use AI even sparingly? Okay, are any of you completely against AI? Okay, so if you're not against I would say use it for finding keywords, whether it's for Amazon, for Facebook, for Pinterest. You know, if you can, if your AI, like I use Chat GPT, if it doesn't know you, you might want to show it some of your books, show it your profile, that type of thing, so it gets to know you, and then ask it to create an SEO rich Pinterest, and you can give it your pin. You can say, this is the pin I'm uploading. What would you do? And it will give you a description. You know, sometimes I have to tweak it, but it's a great way to save time. Because honestly, what takes the most time for me is trying to figure out what to say. You know, what's going to bring people to my pin. So I would highly recommend using ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it is that you use. You can even now, you know, if you're in Google, or I use DuckDuckGo, if you just type it in the search bar, you'll notice like it'll say it gives you an AI assisted. You could just do it in there. So you don't even have to worry about an AI account.
So,
Um,
Kim,
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Sharon.
okay. So, did you say that you put your pin into, I use ChatGPT, into
Yep.
ChatGPT, and then you tell it to create an SEO rich list of keywords?
Yep. Or well, actually what I do is I just say, tell me what I need to write on my pin, basically. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second, and we can even try it.
Okay.
A lot of times, if I'm like if I'm pinning to a blog,
Hmm.
I'll even give ChatGPT my blog, so they
Okay.
know exactly what it's about. And
Yeah.
I call him Jeeves, so Jeeves knows
That's
what
my
it is.
swimming
So
pool cleaner.
well, Jeeves is ChatGPT and our iRobot. So,
Yep. Yep.
but I might swimming pool cleaner. That's a good idea. We have a swimming pool. All right. So, blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna actually click through here because that's
Okay.
really the best way to do this. You can also do Pinterest ads. We will talk about this a little bit if you guys want to see how to do a Pinterest ad. But you don't have to do an ad to get visibility. But if you do an ad, you'll get a lot of high purchase intent. Like people are getting on there to buy that specific type of thing, a book.
Okay.
You get strong conversion, a longer ad lifespan, a growing user base. Pinterest is growing daily, whereas other like Facebook is probably not. And it will definitely influence shopping decisions. It's a lower cost per click typically compared to other platforms, and there's a strong mobile. But I think all of them are really strong now. Any social media or whatever, everybody's on there. And this, like I said, I will give you to look at. There's some different. You can actually click on these, and I'll send it to you. Most of the stuff I found was on these different websites. Okay, so all those resources. I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share my screen so we can just chat. Okay, where did it go here? Share desktop.
That is a pretty awesome looking animal there.
Yeah, I don't, and that wasn't mine. If it was mine, it would be a dog. Okay, so can you guys see that? My screen? So
Mhm.
okay, so I'm on Pinterest. This is my account. Um, if I'm going into basics that you already know, just tell me and we can move on. So here's my banner. And like I said, I don't, this is kind of my author brand. You will see these colors, these roses in everything I do. On my website, on my Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. These are my colors. So I try to keep it to those colors whenever I post. And I do have a little logo that includes this couple, and I try to put that on every post along with my website address. Every post, every pin, pretty
And
much
it was
everything I
on the
do.
little banner for your thing today.
Pardon?
There, I said I put it on your little banner on Facebook to advertise your class today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And that's the other thing, that Lynn, actually brings up a good point. As authors, we can help each other. Like if we sign up as followers, although like I said, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, you can at least, you might get that when I put a new pin out, you might see it, or if you put a new pin out, and we can pull it up and at least look at it. So Pinterest knows somebody's looking at it. We should try to support each other that way. That kind of help is so easy and just really huge for any author. So these are all ones that I have created. So these would be called fresh pins. When somebody pulls up my account, this is what they're going to see though. They're going to see my saved. So these are all boards down below here. And I've created obviously a similar board with my author branding behind here. I created these on Canva. So if you go down further though, what you'll see are boards that don't have this aesthetic. I have not decided whether I'm going to do this for everything single board. I'm thinking no, because as you'll see, although these have to do with my books and my website, down below, this is more about research. So I think your profile should reflect should make you credible as an author, no matter what you do. Like I think I'm not seeing all of you on here. I gotta see all of you here. Hold on a second.
What happened to Kathleen? I can't even get a message through off of
And as
Facebook.
I was just looking for Loretta. I think has Loretta gone off?
She's here.
Okay. So I think Loretta, she writes suspense, correct? Does Loretta? Yeah.
Yes.
So like I would, you know, what makes you credible as a suspense author? I'm guessing you do a ton of research in, you know, police or FBI or whatever it is that you're writing on for your book. Pin
Correct.
them here. Just show your credibility. For me, obviously, it's as a historical romance writer, and I want to make sure that what I'm showing, oh gosh, I've lost you guys again. What I'm showing is, hold on, bear with me here a second. I don't see you guys. Where are you? Okay. That
We're
these
here.
relate to my books. It doesn't make a ton of sense for me to put out a whole bunch of Regency aesthetics, even though that's really popular on Pinterest. Doesn't make a ton of sense for me because that's not what I write. So I may one day, I don't know. But right now, all of this has to do with something in my books. My series is about a family that owns department stores. So here you can see I've got early department stores. In the third book, they find out that they have a grandmother who's a countess. So they go to England. So now I've got English country estates. So you get the gist. Most of my boards are fashion and I set them up by year. A lot of these are fresh because I have a collection of fashion magazines, so I take pictures and I make pins of them. But a lot of these are also reposted from other pins. But this area of my board, of my profile, is extremely popular. Do people necessarily go on there who are readers? No, but maybe one day they will be. Maybe they need to be a little bit older. I don't know. I think a lot of young people repin these, but Up above, you can see I only have 66 followers. I just want to say this really quickly. I follow 105, um, but I
Views.
have 12.8
Hmm.
thousand or K monthly views. So
Hmm.
12,000 views a month. That changes. I don't always have that. But so a lot of people are seeing my pins, and I really do think it's because of my SEO. So let's talk about that. Is that what you guys, you want to move on to like creating a pin
I do have
and
a
all of that?
question because I'm
Okay,
full
so
of them. Um,
okay, so hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. I apologize, but I don't know who's talking because I can't see you guys. Who's talking?
Sharon,
Okay, Sharon. All right, go ahead.
the mouth. No, my question is if you write across genres, like I have two novellas that are uh um Christian romantic suspense, but I'm starting a series that is for children's books, but it is um children's books for like um um westward expansion. Um
Okay.
so totally different. Would I keep those under the same account?
Is it a different pen name?
No,
Okay.
same author name.
Yeah, so then I would do that because um I'm not even sure if you can set up two different business accounts with the same name. I don't know. It's a good question. But even if you can, I think I would keep it all under one because that's what you do, right? And you're keeping that
Okay.
the same pen name across both genres. So
Okay.
yeah, so you could still do that and just have boards, just make sure that it's really clear which one you're pointing to, and that should be easy, right? You're writing two totally different
Right. And the
genres.
banner should just be more eclectic.
I think so. I mean, you could say something to that in your banner that you're an author of both and show, maybe your book covers.
Hmm.
It would be hard to make a banner like mine that would go across
Mhm.
both. So I think showing book covers would probably be your best bet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a book cover yet? Have you
Not
published
yet.
in the other
We're
genre?
not yet. We're working
Okay.
on it. I'm actually doing the children's series with my cousin. Um,
Okay.
it's a children's series on westward expansion and quilts. And
Oh, wow.
she is a quilting expert, and my background is history. So
Sharon does a
Okay.
lot of
um
quilting too. Don't let her
so
tell you.
we are I enjoy it. My cousin is the expert. She's written books on quilting for adults and how to. And so we're combining forces with the history of the quilting blocks and telling a story about Western expansion.
Oh, cute.
So we already have a logo. We have the cons not the title of the we've got the title of the series, which is Quilting Prairie Tales or
Cute.
I'm sorry, Quilted Prairie Tales. Then we have a four-book concept for that series, which is claiming the homestead, building community, and Christmas at the homestead. All of those with different quilt blocks featured and the history of those quilt blocks. So it's
Okay.
coming together extremely quickly. Uh,
Okay, so are both of your names on the books?
yes,
This
yes.
is what I would recommend.
Okay,
I'm gonna pull back on what I said earlier, my advice from earlier, and say create a business account, maybe under her name, but when
okay,
you set up the profile, you can say both of your names. It is so different, and I'm seeing all of the um, I'm thinking of all the pins that you'll be able to create
okay,
that I think you need to have a separate one.
okay.
Especially and it works for you because she can set it up under her name as the business account, but just make sure that when you're setting up your banner and you're setting up your author profile, that your name is also in there.
Okay.
Because this is going to be a whole different set of boards, and I think I think it could have a completely different feel. I would recommend in anything, whether it's a website, Pinterest, Facebook, any of those, even if you're not, I know it's going quickly, so get
Mhm.
those set up, even if you're not published yet even if those are not up on KDP yet or wherever you're selling them,
Yeah. Yeah.
get this stuff started,
Okay. Because
get
I mean,
interest rolling.
we started brainstorming last week on a trip to Nashville to see a relative. And I mean, in the last week, we have, I have the story outlined. I mean, this is where we are.
That's
We
crazy.
have, I did the banner last night, the logo last night. It took me 5 minutes on ChatGPT. It's like we both love it. We have our colors. I mean, it is, we prayed over this for 2 hours in our hotel room and just said, Lord, if we're supposed to do this, make it abundantly clear. And I'm telling you, my brain is I'm pulsating because of, how fast it's coming. I feel like I'm
Well,
drinking from 5 fire hoses.
but I mean, in today's world, unfortunately, that's how it works, I think, really, right? You have to move.
Yeah. And we even have
So,
our illustrator who is her granddaughter.
awesome. So I would, if you have the logo, maybe that would be a great banner. You could use that as your banner.
Okay.
I mean, basically, that's what mine is. It's my logo.
Okay.
So, you could start there.
Okay.
And then when you're ready, you can maybe put books up or whatever. But yeah, I think you definitely need a different account, and I would just put it under her name. If you could try seeing if it'll set up a second one under your author name. You have a business account, you said, for
Um,
your other
uh,
books?
I do not yet, but I will this afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. So see if it'll let you set up two. I'm guessing
Okay.
no. So set it up under her name. Yeah, and
Okay.
just start fresh. Because you've got way too much there with quilts, and I
Yeah.
can see so many ways to do that. Pinterest is going to love that.
Oh
So
yeah,
I,
we've
yeah.
already we've already applied to go to Paducah's quilt show next
There
year.
you go.
I mean, I mean, yeah. So anyhow,
That's
I
awesome.
didn't mean to hijack the
No,
conversation,
no,
but
no, no. I think that makes sense. I think that it's good to talk about because there might be somebody else who's thinking, no, I can't do two totally different genres on one account.
You're
That would be a way to
showing,
handle it.
okay, you're showing the banner. Yours is like you've got the photo on one side of the image and your information on the other. I don't know if you can see this when I hold it up. Can you see anything about that? Mine, the picture it doesn't have rainbows behind it, I promise. But it shows my photo in front of the banner image.
What are but you're showing me your
I'm doing this
iPad.
from my iPad.
Yeah, that's the difference. So like if you pulled up mine on your iPad, that's the order you would see it in. It's going to keep shrinking it depending on what mobile device you're on.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
if
showing
I
you
pull it
from
up
my Mac.
if I pull it up
You should see it
on
like
Insta,
mine if you pull it up on your computer.
okay, I'm having issues this morning with everything
You're
here.
not the only one.
Let me
Okay.
see.
So
I've been
Lynn's
trying to
looking at
message Kathleen and I
she's
can't
looking at
even
that. Let's talk about creating a pin.
hmm
Okay, can you guys see this?
hmm
Okay. So I'm gonna pull up, let's start from the beginning here. Let me find something I
over
can
my
pull
shoulder.
up here. I did a lot of stuff on vacation, so it's really unorganized. Normally I'm more organized. Um,
Completely organized, girl. You are so organized.
Interest. All right, let's just do this one. No, those aren't going to work. Hang on a second. Sorry. I should have thought about this ahead of time. I know I created one just recently. Oh, that's a mess, Kim. That is a mess. Here we go. Oh, shoot. I apologize. All right, we'll just have to pull up anything at this point. Okay, so I like to post about, as you saw, about different historical fashion. So I created this on Canva, and this I put on both Facebook and Pinterest. But this is the Pinterest size that I created for this. And what I would do is I would go to move you. Okay. I would go to ChatGPT and I would say add. Okay, well, now I'm not going to be able to find it. I apologize, you guys. Okay. July posts. My brooch. Okay, so I'm on ChatGPT. I've just added that pin. Please create.
If you think about it, once you get Whitey his pill,
Yeah, I saw it.
and I did pretty well trim his nails, and I could tell he was
Oh,
stepping on his nails. It's gonna make a big difference in the way he walks. And
Beth,
if
your
he's
audio's
stepping
on.
a couple of nails and his whole feet on it and touching, just sleek nails.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like to do it again, but he was sure getting tired of it. But maybe the next time you're free and you can hold him, we'll do some more. I did them all, but I need to do them a little
okay.
bit shorter.
So I just said, please create SEO rich description and title for Pinterest. So ChatGPT kind of knows me already, but if it didn't, or if I was posting about a blog that I had just written, an article, I would also add that article to the files that I'm giving it. So here it's giving me the title. So it says Pinterest title. So I just copy it because I trust ChatGPT, believe it or not. And now I'm going to paste it. That's what they recommend my title should be.
Okay.
I might mess around with it. I'm not going to do that right now, and this is what it's saying I should put in my description. Now it's recommending hashtags. You used to be able to, everybody's going away from the hashtags. Instagram, Pinterest is, so I'm not going to copy those. So down below where it says, tell everyone what your pin is about, this is where I'm going to put that. Alt text are for people who are visually impaired and cannot see what the pin is about. So it created that for me. Destination link,
Just one moment.
my website. This, because it's not posting directly to a blog, and it really doesn't have anything to do with my website, doesn't matter. Put your website out there.
Okay.
The only time I don't put my website, and it's just personal, is when I post scripture. I don't connect it to any website when I post scripture. And then I would say publish immediately, or you can publish at a later date. Because I like to do everything once a month, I obviously do publish at a later date, or I'll do it on Canva and set it up on my calendar. You're going to see this mark as AI modified. I'm not sure if Instagram has gone to that yet, but they will, and so will Facebook. Meta will. This primarily is if you have a character, say that you created in Midjourney, and now you're going to put it out as a pin. mark it as AI modified. I'm not going to mark this as AI modified just because I used it for my description. They're primarily concerned that you're not using photos or basically it's not an image that resembles somebody living or an actual person, because that's how AI works, right? If you say I want a heroine who's blonde with brown eyes, it's going to go out there and look for pictures of real people with blonde hair and brown eyes to create their picture, their image. And a lot of times you'll see images out that AI is creating. You're like, oh, that looks like such and such actress or whatever. So you just need to tell Pinterest that that's what you've done. Personally, I have stopped using AI for images, just because I don't know, I find it irritating more than anything, but also because, okay, sorry guys. Also because not that I'm a conservation freak or anything, but the images is what takes a huge amount of energy to create. And I just figure it sets you up for people to not like you if you're doing too much of it. Does that make sense? You know, there's going to be people that, do you know how much energy you're using to create that image? And they're not wrong. The stuff I just did doesn't take hardly any energy, but those images, like I think they say like every image you create with AI takes like the equivalent of 2 bottles of water. So I
And
don't
that
know. I
doesn't
think
sound
that
like much, but it adds up very quickly.
adds up. It adds up. Yeah, especially because there's usually when you create with AI, you're not creating one time because it usually doesn't get it the first time. So now you're recreating, right? So every time you create a pin or an image, you might be tweaking it 5 times. Okay, now that's 10 bottles of water. But again, I'm not a conservation freak or anything. However, there are those people out there on Pinterest who are. And I just think, I don't know. I think it looks better if you've come up with the creation yourself in Canva, honestly, or whatever it is that you use, if you've put some effort into it. And I think they end up looking very nice that way. I don't think AI has to be the thing that creates all your pins. If you're tight for time, fine. And I'm not up here on a soapbox or anything. You can do whatever you want. That's just how I think about it. And they're still, even though they're AI images and they're getting better and better and better, you can still tell it's AI when you look at it. So let's see here. And sorry, I'm going back and forth here, but for some reason I keep seeing um, a moose and not, or whatever that is, a ram and not my page.
Will
All
you
right, you
be
guys
able to
tell me.
will you be able to share your slides with us?
Yeah, I'm going to send you the slides, and then at the very last slide has all those links.
Great.
Okay, so anyway, then I would just tell it to post. I don't know why it's not going up, but I'm not going to do that here. Let's just go back. All right, so do you guys know how to set up the board covers? Or even how to set up boards? Should we go over that at all? You tell me what you want to go over if you have time. We might be done. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think anybody's in a huge hurry. If y'all
Just
have
tell me
questions,
what you'd like to talk about, what you'd like to see, if you'd like to see an ad set up. Um, I will say, I don't know if you guys are getting this same feeling, but I'm starting to think that reader magnets are not as useful as they used to be. Um, I'm getting people claiming, like I use book funnel, I'm getting people claiming them, so it's not like the description isn't working, but then they never download them. I was looking at my analytics the other day, and there's like 4,000 people have claimed one of my books, and I have 3. 43 have downloaded it. So like they don't take the extra steps, so they don't even really want, I don't know what they're doing. They think they're going to read it, I guess, but there's so many out there now. And that I think it becomes overwhelming for the reader. And I also think that we're lucky if we even get them to that point, because downloading a reader magnet means giving somebody your email. So I think people are hesitant to do that. And I think if they aren't hesitant to do that, it's maybe because as soon as they get the freebie, they're unsubscribing anyway. So I'm starting to think, how else can you get people to your books? Um, Pinterest is probably a way to do that. I mean, social media to some degree. Again, these are all my opinions, but Instagram, I think I have I think I hit 1,400 followers, which isn't horrible, but um, I'm sure there are plenty of you on this call that have a lot more. And I went and looked at my followers, and then I went out to another author who has a lot more than me, and I was looking at her followers, and they're primarily bookstagrammers, which is great because bookstagrammers write about you. But then I looked at a very popular bookstagrammer and who follows her, and it's all other bookstagrammers. Bookstagrammers want your free book. They don't want they don't want to buy your book. They want to be an ARC reader and they want your free book. So at some point, I think we're just spinning on, I feel like a hamster that's not getting anywhere because I just feel like that's what's happening, that people are just getting the free books. And even if they are getting the free books, they're not reading them. So I feel like we got to find other ways to get people engaged, get readers, that type of thing. I don't know, Loretta, you're popular. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I have not utilized Pinterest in a long time. I put my title in there as Loretta Edson, suspense author, but when I first developed it, it was just for fun. I had no clue what its use was. So no, I just pulled it up on my computer and I was looking at it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm not really sure where to begin now to change it to an author. I mean, even though the title is author, I'm not sure where to change it and start making it an actual author page, because I have a ton of pins on there, that I've pinned from other places and stuff. So, that's where I am with it. So I'm not sure.
Would it be helpful to look at it? You want us to look at okay, unfortunately, and I don't know why this is, but within a business account,
No,
I'll try it again.
I don't think this is a business account. I think this is just a free.
Yeah, I think what I was gonna say, but I've opened up my business account, but I think I follow you. So let me see.
Okay.
My point is, I don't know if I can find you without having to get out and oh, come on, Kim. Yeah, see, I don't, oh, but it's saying, okay, all pins. Here you are. Oh, yeah, I do follow you, so we're on here. Oh no, maybe I don't. I'm gonna follow you now. There we go. All right, so here's Loretta's. Quotes Writers Christmas launch party. Yeah, so I think the first thing I would do is again create a banner. I think it'd probably be useful for you to show your books. How many books do you have now?
I just have 3.
Oh, okay. All right. So then perfect. You could do a banner with the 3. Once you start getting more than that, I've seen authors who put like all of them on there and it's overwhelming, but I think 3 is perfect. I'd start there. I'd create a banner with your something nice in the background, and your three books would be perfect. So this top row should be those books.
Okay.
Each book should have its own board. And then within that, talk about, pin the different research you've done, the different rabbit holes you've gone down. If, some authors will put a recipe or some kind of food, you could pin a recipe that has to do with a food within your book. But have that board be it's almost like your storyboard for that book. And then start pinning different things to that. As many fresh ones as you can do would be good. I would say
some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Put your Amazon link, or if you're wide, you could do your Barnes and Noble. You can only put one link per pin, but yeah, definitely do that. And everything else that doesn't connect directly to a book page, put it to your website. No matter, even if you think, oh, this has nothing to do with my website, like it's a recipe and I don't put recipes on my website, pin it to your website anyway. Um, so let's take a look at this. So, and you can move your boards around.
Okay.
So when you're in your account, you'll see organize, so you can move them to have priority. So I would make sure your books are all at the top, because like when you add the board, it's going to put it down at the bottom,
Okay.
but you don't want it there. You're going to want it up at the top. So get that top row to be all about your books if you can. And then I would say do birds have anything to do with your books?
No.
Okay, I would get rid of those
Okay.
or archive them or hide them just so you can see them. Books worth reading, there's nothing wrong with that. I have something like that too. There's nothing wrong with promoting other Christian authors. I would move it towards the bottom though. It should come after your stuff.
Okay.
Let's see, romantic suspense. Are these are other
Right.
authors' books?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, same thing. It's fine to keep it on there. It shows credibility that you read other suspense books. I wouldn't make it a priority board though. Prayer, excuse me, I think that that's fine because you're a Christian author. So that should be on there. That makes a
Okay.
lot of sense. Are your books primarily set in the South?
They're set in the mountains.
Okay, so I'd probably take out Southern Gal if I were you.
Okay.
Any of these coffee cups, dips and snacks, those are all great for personal,
Right.
but I wouldn't do it for yours. A
Okay.
lot of authors will collaborate with other people, not necessarily authors, and so you'll see like they'll get a ton of people viewing their stuff, but it has nothing to do with what they write. Um, I'm gonna pick on somebody, and I love her to death, so please do not take this the wrong way. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you Penny Zeller, who has she has 843 monthly views. She usually actually has a lot more than that. So she has a great banner. I like her banner. I think she could probably do more with her profile. Ask ChatGPT, what should I write in my profile? But you can see she has some of her books up top, but she just has a lot of stuff. And these are all ones where she's shared with other pinners, other profiles. And it doesn't tell me anything about her. I just don't know anything about what she writes other than at the top she writes faith-filled happily ever afters. Now she is a person who has obviously she writes in quite a few genres, but I still should know that right up top. If I were her, I'd get rid of probably most of these, honestly. I mean, she has a lot of pins and she's done a lot of work, but a lot of this stuff should be on her personal account, in my opinion. Penny has a lot of readers, so it maybe doesn't matter for her, but I don't have anywhere near the number of readers Penny does. So it's really important for me to get across who I am as an
With you
author.
saying that, Kim, I want to tell the rest of y'all, if you haven't read Kim's book, it's a really good series.
Aw, thank
And you
you,
can just,
Lynn.
help her get some more readers.
Aw, thank you. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Well, I'm just learning. I'm still really a newbie, but like I said, I'm also 60 and I just want to get this train,
You're no more
out
newbie
of the
than I am.
station. Just need to get out of the station. So anything else you guys want to see or no? Are we good? Okay. I know I went through it really quickly, but I will send you all my slides, and also I'm going to stop sharing here. Stop share. And also, last time I did this presentation, and I was a little bit more organized, I did get emails from people afterwards asking me questions. Feel free to do that. Feel free to send me any questions that you have. In fact, I'll give you my email. Actually, Lynn, can you can somebody write this in? I am as analytical as I think I am. I cannot figure this. I cannot figure out Zoom sometimes. Okay, yeah, actually I'm back. Okay.
I mean, I just
Here,
wasn't seeing her. My
I'll put it
screen
in.
wasn't down far enough. I kept thinking you left us. I'm so
See,
glad you're
that's the kind of
here.
stuff that happens to me all the time. I'm just
Um,
gonna put my email address.
do you want me to put it in or are you going to put it
No,
in?
I got it now. I just got it in chat. But yeah, just contact me. Um, and I'm sorry this has been so unorganized. Like I said, I just got off of vacation and
No, I think we got
this,
a lot of information from it. Is that how y'all feel?
yeah, I think it definitely can be beneficial. It's not the be all and end all. I'm not going to sell you on that story, but it's helpful. It's helpful and
No, but I mean, I
it
can see where a lot of the things you're saying make sense because I mean, when I'm looking at let me find it here. When I was looking at mine, you don't have that many followers, but you have a lot of monthly views. Now, I haven't done anything with it in a long time, but I have 1.2 thousand followers.
right.
No, I'm sorry, I have 774 followers. I've got those flipped. That's still quite a few and only 35 monthly views.
Yeah, I would say, if you've been using it as a personal account and you're putting a lot of different stuff on there that Pinterest people are interested in, that would make sense. That would make sense that you have a lot of followers,
I don't. I have
It
774. I would
that's
follow
still
them
that's
if
still
I
that's a good
could,
number. It's a good number.
but I don't have
But
a lot of
again,
monthly views. But I can see where I could do some of these things that might benefit.
yeah, and it's just really it's not important. Um, if you do an ad, those views will also kick up. If you create a pin and you just say there'll always be a little red button at the top that says promote. Click that and you can just do sort of this automated ad with that pin. And it works. It just kind of sends it out to everybody. Do $7 a day. Don't do it for more than, I would say, 5 days at the most. Always know that your first day, it takes a while for everything to get going. So you won't see the analytics, and you can't see analytics until you have a business account, but you won't see the analytics for the first 24 hours. So don't give up and then take a look and see how it's doing. You'll see those ticking up and people viewing them, some people clicking on the link. I did do a very targeted ad with Pinterest last week with a reader magnet, and I got a lot of views and I got a lot of people clicking into it, but nobody downloaded it. Nobody went that far. So it could be my book funnel explanation, I don't know, but it's worked before, which is why it's leading me to believe that people are just tired of giving out their email addresses. They really don't need another free book that they're probably never going to download or never read. I just think it's starting to become, I don't know, just not
Well,
our best way to
I can
promote.
see where this could be maybe a better use of time and resources than Instagram and Facebook, which especially Instagram. I do a lot on there because it goes on to Facebook too, but
Right.
I don't see much interaction on Instagram.
I don't see interaction on, I get some on Instagram. I don't see any on Facebook, which is where my target audience is. And I just don't see it. But I'm also not very active on it. It's me. It's a lot,
Well, I
has a
don't
lot
get a
to do with
lot, but I
me.
get more there than I do on Instagram.
Yeah. And that's good because that's where your reader is too, as a historical romance writer. Loretta's going to get a lot, she's going to get a younger audience. So Instagram is good for her. Pinterest is good for her. Uh, but I think it'd work for anybody.
Now, question, because I have 3 books that are devotionals. I have 3 and about to be 4 that are in the fiction category.
Yeah.
One of them
Yeah.
is definitely contemporary, and this last one's going to be kind of a mix of it's not really dual timeline, but kind of is. So do I want to separate my devotionals and the fiction on two different things, or can I put those all on one?
I think for you, unlike Sharon, they're not two wildly different looks. So you're writing Christian historical romance and you're writing devotionals, and I think those two intersect. So
Okay.
I think you'd be fine.
Okay. That's good to know.
Question,
Yeah.
is there a cost? Like I'm looking at my account, it says convert to business. Is there a cost to change to business?
Good question. No.
Okay.
Nope. And it's really easy. If I'd had time, we could have maybe set up a business account. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that, but it is really easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And no cost. Anything else? No. Okay. Well, it was really great seeing all you. Some of you I know, some of you it was nice to meet.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Sure.
Absolutely. Thank you
Okay. Well,
so much.
I will leave you guys in case you have other business you need to attend to that doesn't involve me. All right, you guys, have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hey,
Thank you.
Kimberly, can I ask you a question? Can you
Oh, yeah,
send
sure.
the PowerPoint slides to
Oh, yeah.
Lauren? And then
She's
that
gonna send
way
them.
I can post that up on the Facebook page too.
I'll send it to, so I'm gonna send it to your email account, Lynn, right? Is that what you said? I
Yeah.
missed the beginning of that. Send it
You
to
can send it to
Lynn.
either one of us. We'll get them up there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Thank
Thanks.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank
Have a
you.
good rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, ladies, we got a lot of work to do.
I know, right?
But I felt better about some of the stuff she showed us there for doing some of those things than I have felt about a lot of other types of social media, et cetera, quotes.
I
In a
never
long time.
realized how to use Pinterest for my
Exactly. Yeah.
benefit.
I knew that she would be able to give us some pretty detailed information on it because,
Yeah.
like she told you, she analyzes everything and she's very organized and very methodical about all of that. So I was looking forward to her presentation. Anybody has, okay, so we're going to be looking at a Christmas party at Sharon's in November, the third weekend in November, if any of you want to put that down. We had a great time there with our retreat, and after reading this little devotional, I think we should have called it our reading advance. We want to move forward, not retreat backward, which I thought was really good. A good point. And we will meet the second, this is August, the second Saturday in September. Loretta, you've got the devotion, and I will be working on the topic.
Okay.
And then in October it will be the first one, and Dolores has that devotional, be the first Saturday again. Did anybody? I mean, I know your brain was probably more on her presentation, but did anything pop in anybody's head as far as places that Sharon and I have not thought of? And yes, we do want she's right. I mean, I agree with her totally. Our main thing is to really make our chapter, our city make our city look good. And that, that's what I have been saying and when I've asked.
But we also want to win.
But winning would be nice because 4 of us would have $100 voucher for the conference next year.
That'd be awesome.
Just keep anything you see with ACFW and any opportunities you have when people are mentioning the conference or anything, just make sure you let them know that our city, positive things about our city. When I did my first timers introduction, the first thing I said is welcome to Memphis. And then and Peabody's a beautiful facility. And then I added in there that my husband and I had our wedding reception there 53 years ago. I have a picture in front of the fountain. No, there's no ducks, but they're a great attraction. And so, I think that there's ways like that we can go about giving it more credit than it gets. Nobody has any more ideas, then We just need to close in prayer and we're done. And you can go eat lunch, or Kathleen can eat brunch. I'm not sure which is. Okay. I'll close us. Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for how you do lead us in our writing, and for those seeds you drop, and for how we can plant them downstream, and how we can reach into people's lives. It's such a beautiful opportunity you've given us, and we're just so grateful. Help us to make the most of that in our writing. Lord, we just have the conference going to be in our city later this month. We just ask that you would, in anything that we do, Lord, to help with that, we just ask that you would just give us the right words to ask for the gifts, give us the right words to share with others in our organization about our city, Lord. All of that, we just and we also pray for all of the speakers for that, for all of the people traveling. Just ask for grace for that, for safety, and because I know that's got to be a concern for people that see some of the things that are posted about Memphis and Tennessee and all of that. But Lord, we know you know that they'll be fine, and we just ask you to continue to for your protection over it. And Lord, we just thank you for Kim and for what she shared today. There's just so much there that we can use and lead people to our writing, Lord, and via that, leading them to our writing, leading them to you. And that's our goal, Lord. And we want to just give you the honor and glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
Thank
Y'all
you.
too.
Y'all
Bye.
too. Here we go. Did I
Yeah.
muddle my way through that well enough, ladies?
No, I thought it was good. Dolores is still on mute. I had to I so I can put people on mute, but I can't take them off mute. So yeah.
Having some issues with that.
Well, and I sent Beth a text to let her know that her husband was on in the background. So
Gee, somebody was on with you in the background too for a while.
with Dolores, yeah.
Mhm.
She that's when I think she had like a vendor or someone come to the house. So I was able to go on there and put her on mute, but I couldn't take her off.
I gotcha.
So she's still on mute. I don't know if she's there or not. I can't
I
tell.
don't know. That looks
Yeah,
like a
she just
still
went
picture. I
off.
think she's off now.
But yeah, we probably need to say at the beginning of each meeting, if you could I'm going to take us off of recording.